Recent explosion at the Durban oil refinery is one in a long list of pollution incidents in the area. And one key question is, what is government, both local, provincial and national, doing to protect residents of the community surrounding the refinery? Well, the local South Durban Community Environmental Alliance recording a total of 55 major industrial incidents in South Durban from 2000 through 2016. In 2018, the South Durban Basin was declared a pollution hotspot, according to the provincial government's Environmental Outlook report. Llewellyn Leonard is Professor of Environmental Science at the University of South Africa and has written extensively on the issue and joins us now. Prof, good afternoon to you and welcome. By all accounts, this is not a new problem, yet it persists. Why?
That's true, Jeremy. I think my research has looked into this and really looked at industrial risk and governance. And what I found was that poor governance from industry and also from government side to actually engage with civil society to really address industrial risk and really share information with surrounding communities. So civil society and communities are not really seen as experts in the field, able to offer anything tangible to scientific knowledge systems. So there's been a general lack of integration of the different spheres from for I could say the co-creation of knowledge and really for industry and government to expand the range of options available to them to really address industrial risks. So that has created a fertile ground for increasing risks. And as you outlined, 55 major incidents. So really nothing has been done.
Who's dropping the ball here? Is it local government that's not enforcing regulation? Is it national government that should be coming down harder? Or is it the company itself?
I think it's a combination of all of those different spheres, Jeremy. If one looks at the local government level, I mean, really, since 2010, there's been really no, strong enforcement and action from government. I mean, previously, we would see the multi-point plan that was in place. It was really an initiative that ran for 10 years and fell away in 2010. And it was really a true multi-stakeholder approach to really, bring the different parties together to address industrial risk. And during that time, there was this really good air quality monitoring networks in place to actually, examine air pollution. But since then, that is down. The new government leadership has really not taken that forward. So I think that would be one major issue, and really a lack of coordination between the different spheres of government to really address this. So I think what we've seen also is that because of the poor governance at the local level, we've also got industry that has more or less been self-regulated, and so that has been a major problem.
You go on to say, or ask the key question, that should a petrochemicals facility be in the middle of a residential area anyway? But I suppose, town planning then and town planning now and demographic changes have made things quite difficult in that respect.
No, that's true. I mean, if you look at since democracy, the geographical landscape has really not changed. We still got industries together next to, all refineries. So that's a major problem. I think this has been influenced by, since '94, the transition, and the new modes of governance. And we thought that, since '94, this new government should actually, work to address many of the injustices of the past. But, this has been at the macro level, one can analyze and say, there's been a more capitalism has been the more dominant political discourse. And so that has actually caused a reduction of the power of the state to actually enforce. And that can be seen at the local level. So really, that has been a major issue. And, it's been, from my research, it shows that, it's been simply profits before people. This logic of wealth production has really dominated this logic of risk reduction.
Where does pressure need to come from when you look at an organization like eNCA? And I must be honest with you, we've tried on a number of occasions to get them to come onto this program to discuss this particular issue, and they've been a little reticent, to say the least.
Well, surprisingly, I'm not surprised, Jeremy. I mean, I had an issue of I haven't been able to get a hold of eNCA myself. So I think clearly where it's coming from is that, if one looks at the private engagements that really take place, private engagement between government and industry is a major, issue. If one looks at the South African Petroleum Industry Association, which is really a platform where industry uses that to lobby government to support its different positions. So we've not seen the incorporation of civil society in the equation, which has really caused the ground for sort of a top-down sort of governance, and not, really engaging with people in a true multi-stakeholder approach. So really, I think it is a government issue, and the different spheres of government have been fragmented, and have also, contributed to the issue.
Seems to me that NGen isn't interested in that multiplicity argument that you're putting forward about everyone getting involved, because we know that civil society, in this particular case, in the South Durban community, has been very loud, have been very vocal, but every single time their pleas fall on deaf ears.
No, that is very true. I mean, the formation of the SETC, Jeremy, it's really a commitment from residents to actually address environmental issues in the South Durban area. So really, SETC had really built up the evidence, in terms of their, conducted scientific assessments and really created a rich database. So that has not been engaged with. Really done that and the job that's not been done by government, because since 2010 the air quality monitoring systems have not been functional, and that's a local government job. So it's a new sort of governance that's required to really engage with local communities and look for these alternatives, with the alternative expertise available at the local level.
The point that you've just made about air monitoring equipment hasn't been maintained, government not sharing air quality information, that is very serious, and it's an absolute shame, isn't it?
Yes, unfortunately, if one looks at the National Air Quality Monthly Data Reports, and I've seen them, really even those reports state that the South Durban stations are not functional. So really, you're not picking up a whole bunch of chemicals that that you should have. And that's caused, major issues in terms of health problems. One can look at South Durban and see that, asthma rates have doubled the global average. Leukemia is 24 times the national average. And these things have not been addressed. And the health scientists have actually looked at this. And there's evidence of this. And it's surprising that, within this democracy, that these issues have not been, addressed. So that's been a serious flaw as well.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Llewellyn Leonard, Professor of Environmental Science at the University of South Africa. I do appreciate your time.